Hi friends, it is Leslie and welcome back to the Cozy Yellow Cottage. So I thought I would start this decorate the porch video off with a delicious fall breakfast. The weather was absolutely perfect for this. We are decorating everybody's favorite room, the sun porch, and you can see that I have my helpers here. They do a lot of sleeping on the job. So I had absolutely no idea of a theme this year. I just wanted everything super cozy. And these are some of the items that I brought out to decorate with. And of course, you'll see lots of animals and lots of books because I do want to make this a cozy reading area. So starting out over here, I don't know if I'm going to explain everything, but I wanted to tell you about that window. If I haven't mentioned it before, that window was one of our original kitchen windows, and I kept it, and I'm going to keep on keeping it because I love having parts of this house for wherever we land. I did add this amber jar with some foliage and some berries. And then this little squirrel thing here, I can't remember if I bought it or if my daughter bought it, but I guess it doesn't matter. Same thing, but it did come from HomeSense, I believe. It's really cute. And down here on this table, I'm leaving the lamp there, and I did add a little garland to it. And I am adding in my beautiful squirrel from my friend Jennifer at home. So I tried to put the squirrel up on the shelf, and it was so heavy that the whole shelf fell down. Moving on to the hutch, I have this little pail that I got at an antique store, and I just filled it with some plastic wrap and some pumpkins and berries. And I really wanted to add in some white dishes. The problem is, I don't really have any. I have a few. So I put this white platter here that came from a thrift store. And then here I am lining the shelf with some books and my favorite little squirrel figurine. You know I love her. I've had her for a few years and she came from Home Goods. And look at those leg warmers and coffee cup. It gets me every time. I really love this. So I'm putting this lace doily here, and then I have pieces of garland that I cut up, and I really like this garland because it's very twiggy. It really gives me that woodsy feel. Here's a little iron mouse that came from an antique store. On the next shelf, look at this stack of books. They are the perfect colors. And the titles are just so cute too. So I'm stacking them here, and I'm going to put my other white dish on it. I think I only have like four white dishes. And then thanks to my friend Joanne at the Curated Home, I've really been channeling her. She loves to stuff doilies and fabrics into everything. So look, I'm copying you, Joanne. Thank you. So I added the doily there, and then I'm going to pop this little squirrel inside. Look how cute that is. I like to put things in random places. So I have this little cream pitcher here with some silverware. And yeah, that is a real silver, very tarnished. I'm so glad my mother-in-law can't see that right now. For a finishing touch, gotta add a feather. Over here, I made a little riser with that plaque for my enamel pitcher. And then, of course, I had to hide it with a little bit of foliage there. And then I added in more of that woodsy garland. I really love that up here. Next, I'm going to add in this yellow candlestick. These I've had for years. They came from Hobby Lobby. And it may seem out of place here, but wait until you see who's going to be perched on top. Yes, this cute little owl that is actually a Christmas ornament, but look how adorable it is. I love it up there. I'm going to add some berries and some more leaves and pumpkins, and this space is finished for now. On the next shelf, I'm using this large book here for a riser, and this is actually one of the blog books that I had printed out. So I printed out two, one for each daughter, and they are full of recipes, craft ideas, photographs, and just so many memories. On top of that, I'm adding in that little fox arrangement that I made last year. Now it did get a little bit beat up in the box, but it doesn't look too bad. Then I'm adding in another fox, and then I decided to use our children's books as a background here. And this is what triggered a theme. Now I have this cake dish here that I don't know where that came from. I won that at Banco. And then I'm using another candlestick, but this time I'm gonna put this little squirrel on here. Now this squirrel was a gift from my friend Daniel at Golden Vines. I have the best YouTube friends. How cute is that? I'm going to top that cake dish with a pumpkin, and then I'm going to add more of that woodsy garland just to fill in that space. I am loving how it's coming together. And like I said, I really didn't have a theme in mind, but the more I look at this, the more magical it becomes. I'm going to add in this little squirrel here. How cute is that? I told you, it's magic. It's like a fairy tale. May as well add some more animals. These are just little salt and pepper shakers. And then moving down to the next shelves. So you know I don't decorate the bottom really well. And it just gets so dirty and dusty, and Stanley's tail does damage down there. So I'm just stacking up some books, and I'm going to top them with a little pumpkin. So I'm putting my mugs down here. Probably not the best idea, but I really don't have any other place to put them right now. And then for the bottom, I still have that crate down there because it holds old magazines and things, and then just a plastic pumpkin. So I really like how it's coming along. It really feels like story time at the Barnes & Noble. When my girls were little, we loved to visit the children's section at Barnes & Noble, especially in the fall and Christmas seasons. It's so nostalgic. For this little table, to keep it as cozy as possible, I'm adding this quilt that my mother-in-law made for me for my birthday. I think it might have been my 30th or 35th. And then I'm going to keep this basket here. I'm just filling it with some pumpkins and leaves, and of course my coloring book and magazines. And then I'm going to top it with this mug full of colored pencils. I want it to be cozy and convenient, and it doesn't get any cozier than a quilt, great books, and some colored pencils. Perfect. For the table's going to be very simple because actually I'm doing it exactly like I did it last year. I'm just going to throw a piece of fabric on there, messy, that way I don't have to worry about it getting messed up. And then I'm going to add these twigs from Walmart. And then on top of them, I'm going to add this corn husk wreath. And then on top of that, I'm going to add one of the pumpkins that I painted last year. So I don't want the pumpkin's face to show right now, so I'm going to turn it away from the camera. And there's my helper once again sleeping on the job. Always sleeping on the job. So the pretty side is done. Let's flip around to the ugly side. Yeah, there's an ugly side. If you haven't been here before, there is an ugly side. It is the catch-all. So we did have the ceiling tiles replaced. And you can see I have a pile of boxes here that belong to my daughter. Come get your boxes. And an air conditioner that goes to the dump. But do you remember the shelves that I showed you on Pinterest that I wanted to recreate? So I ended up buying some on Amazon, and this is what I ended up with. Now I have items on there strategically placed to hide the nail holes and scuffs on the wall. But eventually I'll get around to painting these walls and maybe decorate those shelves a little bit nicer. I do really like the red hanging there with the jackets and the flannel. I think it's super cute. Alright guys, it is time for my favorite part of the video. If you hung out with me until now, thank you so much. I'm so excited to show you the whole finished room. It looks so good and cozy, and I love it. I love it so much. So I hope that you love it. I hope that you're inspired. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
I just wanna go out on a walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out on a walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine. I just wanna see the same things you can see, understand the meaning on a new degree. Maybe that could happen when you're next to me. I just wanna see the same thing